Well, you probably know me as just a twinkling light, but I have a voice and a story to tell. It all started on a dark and stormy night in the enchanted forest. The wind howled through the gnarled trees, their branches reaching out like crooked fingers. The forest itself seemed alive with fear and anticipation. I was lost, my wings soaked and heavy. Each raindrop felt like a hammer against my tiny frame. I didn't know how much longer I could stay airborne. That's when I saw her, Maleficent, tall, dark, and terrifying. I'd always been told she was evil, a villain to be feared above all others. Her horned silhouette against the stormy sky made my heart race with fear. She seemed to embody the very storm that raged around us. But as the rain poured down, she did something unexpected. She cupped her hands, creating a small shelter from the storm. It was a gesture so gentle, so at odds with everything I'd heard about her. At first, I was too scared to move. What if it was a trick? A trap to catch unsuspecting fairies? But then I saw something in her eyes. Was it kindness? Concern? Cautiously, I flew into her hands. Her skin was warm despite the cold rain.
The witch must be stopped. She's the cause of this cursed storm.
But our moment of peace was short-lived. I could hear them coming, the villagers, their hearts full of fear and anger. In that moment, I realized the true nature of fear, and that perhaps the real monster wasn't who I thought it was. As days passed, I watched her from afar. She tended to wounded animals with gentle touches and soothing words. I saw her whisper to wilting flowers, her magic bringing them back to life. She walked through the forest with grace, every creature showing her respect. I couldn't help but be drawn to her, my curiosity growing with each passing day. But not everyone saw what I saw. The humans in the nearby village still feared her. One day, as twilight painted the sky in purples and blues, I heard angry voices. A group of villagers came, brandishing torches and pitchforks.
Monster, witch.
They called her a monster, a witch. Their words were sharp as knives. I saw the pain in Maleficent's eyes. She didn't try to defend herself. Without thinking, I flew between her and the mob, my light shining as bright as I could make it. Ting, 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 ting. I jingled and chimed, trying to show them that she wasn't to be feared. But my glow wasn't enough. The villagers were too angry, too scared themselves. A pitchfork came hurling towards me, its sharp tines glinting in the firelight. I could see the fear in their eyes, driving them to lash out against what they didn't understand. In that moment, everything seemed to slow down. Maleficent's wings unfurled, massive and majestic. She shielded me with her own body, taking the blow herself. In her pain, I saw her true heart. She was willing to sacrifice herself for a tiny fairy she barely knew. As she stumbled, I realized how wrong I'd been about her, how wrong we'd all been. The villagers, shocked by her selfless act, lowered their weapons. In that moment, everything changed. In the silence that followed, I chimed softly, flying around Maleficent in concern.
I am not your enemy. I am a protector of this forest, as I have always been. We share this land, and we must learn to coexist in harmony.
To everyone's surprise, Maleficent began to speak. Her voice was low and melodious, carrying wisdom and sincerity. That night marked a new beginning, for Maleficent, for the villagers, and for me. Now, as I sit in her gentle hands, I understand. Appearances can be deceiving. Maleficent isn't a villain. She's misunderstood just like me. And in this unlikely friendship, I found a protector, a teacher, a friend. Sometimes the most beautiful stories come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes those we fear the most are the ones who need love and understanding the most. So the next time you see a shadow that scares you, look closer. You might just find a light within.